Hey, what's up? It's Kayla, and today, final week of CAC. If I win, I possibly get in. I think there's a differential involved with it. If I lose, I definitely do not get in. I definitely don't get in. Definitely an interesting matchup. It's Heatran, Zamazenta, Giratina Core team. And it's Ditto, and Ditto is very well respected, and I know Ditto personally. I don't know him personally, but I know Ditto, and he's pretty good. But Giratina, Zom, Heatran, Terra Articuno, Donphan, Raikou, Weezinglar, Alomomola, Spidops, Shisui, and Spiritomb. Very interesting, not fun team to play against. From the replays I saw, very stally core with mixed in offensive Heatran or offensive Zom. And they were cooking a lot of like Wisp, a lot of Haze, and stuff like that, so that's why we have Taunt on these two guys, Toxic Taunts on both sets. We have the Palkia. Can you guys see? Let me see. Oh, you see the whole team, perfect. Palkia just looks insane into this team. I don't really know what their counter is, especially once things start going down. You don't really have too many switch-ins for it. And you obviously can't bring in something like Zom, which is going to take like 60, 70 at the very least. We have Toxtricity, which is more defensive. It can just come in on anything, get a free taunt, get a free toxic off on something. The only issue is obviously Heatran. I don't really have the best counter for it, and this guy obviously doesn't have the best counter for it either. Maybe you could argue I have had an epiphany. You are not gonna believe this. Terraground, that matchup, Toxtricity just looks insane. I was considering like Shift Gear Taunt with Throat Chop and one of Boom Burst or Overdrive, but I think this is probably the best. Again, they're a very defensive oriented team, and just the way they've played is extremely offensive, so that's why that's that. Mandibuzz, this is probably gonna be a fun matchup. This was originally U-turn, and then again I saw the replays and I put Taunt, so no momentum on this mon. It's just gonna click Toxic and Foul Play and try and get Heatran enough chip for things to switch into it. In that same vein, I'm gonna actually skip over these two and jump to Knackle Stackle because I'm just realizing now they do not have a good Knackle answer. They're gonna have to bring Overcloak on something because Giratina does not want to take Salt Cures. It quite literally gets walled by Knackle Stack itself. Articuno doesn't want to take it. Honestly, I think Articuno is probably just going to lead and Terra straight up into something, and then it's probably going to have the Overcloak if I, imagining correctly. We have Donphan. Oh my god, I'm just listing all the mons on their team, but point being, they don't really have a great answer. They're going to have to bring Overcloak on something at the very least. And not a lot of mons want to switch into a Body Press. Not a lot of mons want to start getting chip from Salt Cure. So I like this, and then I'm going to save you for last. We have a Golurk with Poltergeist, Earthquake, Dynamic Punch, and Rocks. These two were kind of late additions. I had Ice Punch for a while, and I had Thunder Punch for half a second. And I took both of those off because I was like, why would I not just click EQ or Poltergeist? I feel like both these moves are just better. There might be a situation where that would suck, but I feel like with this matchup, it's just a lot of me clicking. And then we have Rocks, which is just, Rocks are always good. I've never had a matchup where Rocks are bad. Not counting Monotype, because I feel like that's a little unfair. And then we have Iron Moth, which is just standard Scarf Iron Moth. It outspeeds Giratina, which is, I can't outspeed Raikou, so this mon should outspeed everything. And I don't really have a problem with webs. I was cooking it over and I was like, if webs go up, then what? I feel like I'm fine. Maybe I'm discounting it too much or whatever, but I feel like I'm fine with webs going up, so I'm not too worried about it. Obviously I have Taunt though, so like, I don't know. I have Taunt Mandibuzz, I have Taunt Toxtricity, so even if something Hazard would go up, I feel perfectly fine. I'm honestly probably gonna just lead Toxtricity because I don't really know what answers it extremely well. And if they're Terra Ground Articuno, that could be bad. Whatever. I will see you guys when the match starts. Hey. Alright, we're back. Just a tad bit. I'm sorry about that. I'm not nervous, you are. I'm not. Okay, right. Raikou did come. Pause. Else? What else? Weezing Galar. So what did not come? No Heatran. Holy shit, no Heatran. No Donphan, no Spidops, no Quillfish. Wow. Wow. So what did I say I was gonna lead? What did I say? Can we just lead Manimus? I was worried that Quillfish was gonna lead her, and then I wouldn't be able to get a Toxic off, but if there's no Quillfish to worry about, I feel like Knuckle Stack is pretty free. Oh wait, is there supposed to be Terra types enabled? Chat? There are, oh my, is Ground Articuno, and it's flying around. Well, that is interesting. So I think I always do lead Knuckle. I don't really see what switches in well to it. I also like Toxicity as a lead, but that special attack stat's insane. So I'll just lead Knuckle. It makes Golurk a lot harder to get into because I thought that, really thought that Heatran was going to come to this matchup. And I feel like I prepped a decent amount for it. But because of no Heatran, I feel like now this matchup's even easier for something like, so this is the Salt Cure answer. That is good to know. Toxtricity is insanely free. That is super fine with me. We are just gonna Toxic something. Actually, we're gonna Taunt. Interesting. So a Toxic there. I thought they might Wish, so it's on me. So we'll see what comes in. Terra Ground, which makes Giratina matchup a little bit scarier, but Knuckle owns Giratina every single day of the week. But it's good to know that Weezing Galar is the Salt Cure answer. I'm not sure why this came in. Oh, Terra Ground. This is actually a big matchup issue. I'm just gonna go Mana Buzz. I feel like they're not offensive. They are gonna Terra Ground, Terra Blast. Fine. We're just gonna Toxic. If they want to go Weezing Galar, right now, I just want to see what they're gonna go for. Oh my god, what is this? What is this? Motherfucker. Terra Ground. Do we just go Knuckle on it? I don't really care about that, to be honest. I'm just very glad I got out of that as fine as I did. Toxtricity is obviously extremely free. This is a free Toxic, so that's big. This comes in. You have Scorching Sands? That's disgusting. Because that's the only reason you would come in, is if you had like Scorching Sands, or you have it extrasensory. Dude, quit it. Quit it. Oh, that's cringe. That's really cringe. Just lose. Can I get a Panic Switch here? That is so cringe. What is this Discharge Scald bullshit? Wow, in the early GGs, that's insane. That's insane. I'm not sending GGs, bro. What is this set? I clicked Taunt once. Think about that. I clicked Taunt once. Because Overdrive at any point. That pisses me off. Why did I Toxic here? I don't want to say I win, but definitely not a 6-0 if I don't click Toxic there, because that's 30%, right? How much is that? That's what, 26, 7%. And then they can't. Right here they would die. I would have lived, and they would have died. It's so stupid, man. And if I brought my original Solgaleo set, if I brought Ogerpon Wellspring, that pisses me off, man. Because I don't bring one Mon, my set doesn't work. Or the set works because I don't bring one Mon. Or 2 Mons. That's frustrating. It's me again. What a surprise. No, I just want to do a quick little synopsis. Or not synopsis, what's the word? Fuck. I just want to do a little recap of the season and whatnot, because I definitely know that my attitude in this video is definitely not fun and not great, especially at the end. But I think there needs to be a little bit of context of why I was just so... This season's not been great. I've not played particularly well, and I feel like I've had... Even in my wins, I've had a lot of matchups where I feel so confident going in, and then I just do not play well. Or when I feel like I do play well, it's not well enough. I've not been happy with it. If you're curious, my team... Okay, my team is on the bottom, but you guys can't see that, so pretend you can see it. Pretend you can see it. Let's see. Is this one better? No, because you can't even see me. This one's better.
So you can see my team right here. As you see, 3 free agent transactions. You start with 9. So I've made a lot of transactions and trades, and this was not the original team. This was far from it. I think my original team had Rayquaza and screens, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. And I came up with this team with Palkia, Solgaleo. Our transactions actually, I don't think we do that, but maybe they're here and you can see them. My team is here. Solgaleo, Ogerpon, regular Ogerpon, Arcanine, Blastoise, who else was on the Grimmsnarl? I think there was one more that I'm forgetting. But like I said, this was not the first team, this was far from the first team. And I made a ton of transactions, and I was like, I'm just gonna retool this team and fix it, and it's gonna be grand and great and wonderful, and it wasn't. It wasn't. It was a dumpster fire, if you will. I think I finished here season. But this is a loss. This was a win, but I think it was extremely close, and there was some luck in it. This is a loss, and this was a loss. And do I have one more? So, I pretty much ended the season 1 and 3, which isn't fun in particular, especially when it actually had a decent record. So, with a win, that would have put me right around here, and because of the loss, it puts me, I think, squarely at 9. It's whatever. That has just been this league. I love Ubers, but I was kind of hinging my plan on a lot of mons falling my way, and when that didn't happen, I didn't really have a great plan for afterwards, and then I had to come up with another plan because the Uber I wanted wasn't available. I think I wanted to go Quaza and Zamazenta Crown. Either Zamazenta regular or Zamazenta Crown. That did not fall to me. That just did not fall to me, so that was really frustrating. But so I got Focus Video, and this is history. Does this have a good? Yeah, so my best one was Toxtricity, where it came to a grand total of 2 games. I had 6 kills and did nothing, which is awesome. That's already really good. And then my next best ones are Golarkin. So just frustrating league. Not because of any person or any particular players or any of the mods or anything like that. Just frustrating because I didn't play as well as I could have. I don't want to throw any excuses out there, so I'm not going to mention any of my personal life, because honestly, that has nothing to do with this, if I'm being completely honest. With this season in particular, that had nothing to do with this. I think this was just me not playing up to my standards well. And especially with that last match, I think it was very evident with the way I was playing. I felt extremely frustrated because on the one hand, I felt like I was making good plays, and on the other hand, I feel like I was playing the worst months of my life, so especially with how it ended, and I just feel like crap. So I'm kind of glad the league's over. I'm not trying to say this to sound mean or anything, but GG said he's phenomenal. He's one of the best players that I've had the privilege of going against. So it's not like this was like oh my god, this is a stupid win and this is dumb, and no, he's a great player. I just was not expecting the set, and completely caught me off guard. And I obviously could have prepped a whole ton better. I could have played a whole ton better, but I could have prepped a whole ton better. And probably brought Ogerpon Wellspring. I was just way too confident that it had a bad matchup. This is matchup. And I was like, Ogerpon does what? What does Ogerpon do this matchup? Besides live it. It's pretty important. So, more of the story, use your best mons for the matchup, use your best mons in general, definitely for the matchup. And I probably should have brought, I still think, I'm still okay with not bringing Solgaleo because I just feel like it has such an abysmal matchup with Heatran, Dawnfan, Terra Ground, Raikou, Terra Ground, Articuno, neutralizing Gas Weezing, and it could Will-O-Wisp. Right, I feel like there's just so much that turns off Solgaleo, and it's not the great defensive mon, or it's not as great of a defensive mon as it could be. So that's about that. So I'll have more leagues coming out. I have a very interesting one that I am actually running pretty much in all but name. and that's going to be very interesting. I can't wait to show that off. I will have a link in the description to that channel, because yes, it is a channel. I'll probably be covering my matches here. That definitely I will be uploading mainly on there, and watch-alongs, and that'll be fun. But besides from that, that's pretty much it. I'm in the other league, which, why there hasn't been a match posted, it's not. This time it's actually not because I am inconsistent, it's because I played extremely early. So I think the second week is starting now, after today. So match will be up hopefully by the end of the week, though my job starts soon, so I'll be for that. But that's gonna be about that. I really wish I could have won this one. It would have been a huge confidence boost, but it's just not how it goes sometimes. So I might be joining another league, I might not be. I don't really have any plans at the moment for not joining leagues, but I'm currently in two, and I would be happy to join more. So thanks for watching, sorry for the attitude, and I will see you guys